Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com, and you guys voted for it. A couple in the big poll we have, the new Metallica songs. A couple thousand of you voted for Spit Out the Bone. So we're going to do that one this weekend. I'm going to do, in this first part, I'm going to do all the way through all the riffs in the song and solos and harmony guitar parts, all the way to about the 4-minute and 44-second mark, which is where that really cool jam section starts, where the band is just kind of playing all sorts of cool riffs, and then that goes into the main guitar solo. So those two parts we'll take care of in part 2, which will be live tomorrow. So we're going to take care of everything up to that today. All right, so we've got a lot to cover here. So we're in standard tuning. So let's jump right into it. This is a really cool epic thrash tune. Got a lot of cool stuff in it. So let's start here with something you're going to be doing a lot. Fast 16th notes on the low E string, palm muted. So make sure you're just kind of muted there a little bit, and if you're attempting this song, I'm sure you know what that is. All right, so get the 16th notes going, and then we're going to have this. So you're going to slide the power chord from the second fret on the low E up to the third, and then do the same thing 3 to 5 slides. Wait this. All right, now back to the 2 and 3 slide. And then we're back to a short thing of 16th notes in this. So we have this. 2, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3. And then what I did is a quick little 2, 3 slide again, and then just played 2, 3, 5 power chords. So it's all together like slide 2, 3, slide 3, 5, then 2, 3, and then 2, 3 again, and then pick 2, 3, 5. So slowly. All right, and just repeat that. All right, then the whole band enters there, and we have the same riff again. And about the, let's see here, the 28-second mark, we have just the low E string riff here. It sounds like this. All right, so what's going on there? Now, it's groups of 16th notes. So we're going to play 8 16th notes. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's a group of 8. All right, so just down, up 4 times. Okay, so down, up 4 times. All right, and then you're going to do another group of 8. So we have this so far. All right, so what I'm doing, you can just mute it when you're done to kind of separate those little bursts. And then you do a group of 4. So it's just down, up, down, up. So I know it's really fast. All right, and then 2 more groups of 8. So 8, 8, 4, 8, 8. And repeat. Really cool stuff. All right, now we get to the, let me get the second mark here, about the 39-second mark of the song. We do that same palm muting going on, the 16th note burst on the low E string, but in between that we have some melody notes. Something like this. Little ending to it there. So let's do that real quick. Now the melody notes are going to be this: 10 on the A string to 12 on the low E. So we have this. So the first group of 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and now the second group of 8, followed by 9 on the A and 10 on the low E string. So this. It's kind of hard to count and play at the same time, so it's easier just to kind of feel it. So we're pretty much, you can just do this. And then just throw those 16 notes anywhere in between those notes. So let's do that melody then. Let's learn it like that. 10 on the A to 12 on the low E, and then 9 on the A, 10 on the low E. So this. and then 9, 10 on the A string. So we have this. And then back to the 10, 12, and then 9, 10, and then end it with this. 9, 10, slide to 12 on the A. So we have this with the low E string added. Now you notice there's just that group, it's 8, 8, 4 before you get to that. So it's a quicker thing. And remember it's 8, 8, 4, 8, 8. So we have this. Now the second time through, when you get to that 10, we have this. That's the main ending. That's kind of the big ending. They use that at the very end of the song, but they use it a couple times in the song, leading up to different sections. It's a slightly different when they go into the verse from it. So this little ending is this. Now it's just power chords here, off the low E string, 2, 3, 5. Then do that again. Try this. You get them heavily palm muted until you get to that top one. And then 6, 5, then 3, 5, 1, then the open E power chord. All right, so when they do that, you can hear a little harmonic there, the B string, 12th fret, and then it goes into the full band version of that riff. All right, now that led us into the verse there. Now the verse happens at the, well, who knows when it happens, but it happens next. So we have, leading into that, instead of doing this, that big ending, they just do this. 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, and then take it up to the 7th fret there to start the verse. All right, now the verse sounds like this. That takes us into the chorus section next. All right, so just more power chords here. We're going to start here the 7th fret of the low E string. And just the power chord off there, and you're going to be now doing those 16th notes, just palm muting it, but across 2 strings so you get the full power chord. Kind of a punk rock style. And then over to the power chord there at the 5th fret on the A string real quick, and then back. So this. You're back there, and then go back to the power chord of the 5th fret there on the A, and now come down to the 3rd fret of the low E string. Back to here. So altogether we have this. Now this transition chord to start over is this. So it's not just the normal power chord there at the 5th fret of the A string. You're going to add the 5th fret of the low E in there as well. So it's 5th fret on the low E, 5th fret on the A, 7th on the D. And then they start back over. End it with that chord again. In there, and then we get to the, it's kind of like a pre-chorus slash chorus. Sounds like a pre-chorus is building up to something, but it's pretty much is a chorus. So it sounds like this. All right, so what's going on there? We have just that same 16th note across 2 strings there, the 2nd fret of the low E string. And then we go into this. So that little chromatic line is just the heavily palm muted power chords. 2, 1, just the open low E string will be fine, and then back to the 1st fret power chord. So, and then we get to the open E power chord, and you're doing that kind of 16th note stuff on again. So this. And now the 4th time, you don't play that. You just hit that open E power chord to let it ring, and then jump up here. And now we're going to grab 2 harmonics, the G string 12th fret and the B string 12th fret together. All right, then it takes us back to the riff we know before, and back through the same verse. Now the 2nd verse has a little octave melody, played by Kirk Hammett over it, probably. I guess he's playing it. I haven't seen any videos of these guys playing this yet. So now that octave melody sounds like this. It comes in this 2nd time through the 2nd verse. So it sounds like this. All right, so it's just an octave here, 2nd fret there on the A string, and the 4th fret on the G. Make sure you mute the D string in between it. So we have this, hit that, let it ring, and then jump up to the 5th fret, and then slide to 9. So keeping that octave shape. Let that slide down, and then grab the octave shape off the 3rd fret of the low E string. So 3rd fret on the low E, 5th fret on the D. And then back up again, you're going to grab that 5th fret octave again off the A string, slide to 10, and then have this. Hit 12 twice, the octave at 12, slide down to 9 and pick that. So this. And then we're back to the same riff chorus thing that we did before. And then we're at the 2-minute 36-second mark here, and we have kind of a cool little breakdown riff that happens underneath a bass solo. So let me just play for that for you real quick. So it sounds like this. All right, so that's got a cool little riff. So now the pattern for that, there's a quick little triplet thing in there. So we have this 1 downstroke, and then quick little down, up, down, and then 1 more downstroke after that. So it's like 1, 3, 1. So like this. So you did that pattern, that whole sequence there 3 times. And then you're going to grab this chord. Now, this is probably kind of a guitar layer on the recording, but what's going on here is you're going to have the 4th fret of the low E and the 4th fret of the A string together. And then you have this 6th fret there on the D. Now, they're probably playing that, but they also have another one playing a full major chord there, making it a C sharp major chord. So I like to play it with my pinky. You can play it with your 3rd finger, but to make it sound like the album, you're going to strum all the way across the 6th fret there, the D, G, and the B, along with the 4s on the A and the D. A and the low E. So you hit that 3 times, and then back. So you do this a few times. And then you're going to go to a little pause section. But before you do that, take this chord and move it up 3 frets to the 7th fret. So you got that real quick, and now the bass is just all kind of by himself. And then you come back in hitting this previous chord 3 times. And then we have a really cool section. That's at the, let me get the timing, the 2-minute and 58-second mark. We're going to play along with that, do that same line that the bass solo was doing. So it sounds like this. It's fun to play. All right, so we'll stop there. So we're gonna have a little hammer on real quick. 5, 7, and then some 16th notes there. So the 16th notes are there on the 7th fret there on the A string, and then the 5th fret there on the D. Then back to 7 on the A. Then we have this. So that's just 5, 7 on the D. Do a bend and release of the 7, back to 5. Do that a couple times. Then end it with 7, 5. So we have this. Now I'll do this, repeat the same thing again. Except now, instead of doing this, you're gonna go, which is 7, 5, 7 on the A string. So when you get there, then grab that same big chord that we did before. You don't have to do the full major chord if you don't want to. Just make sure you get the low E string there, though, so it's a little, makes it sound bigger. So we have this. Again. Now move this chord up to 7th fret. Then play 5, 7 real quick on the A string, and then back to the 4th fret version of the chord, and then do that again, 7. And down to 4, and then you repeat the riff again. Now the second time through playing that riff, you kind of palm mutes. It's the same riff, it'll just maybe add a little bit more palm muting on the D string. All right, now from there we have kind of a riff version of that. Sounds like this. All right, so that happens, let me get the thing, where is that at? 327. All right, so you're starting it the same way. Kind of hammer it on 5 to 7. And then doing the 16th note burst there, the 7th fret. And then playing the power chord off the 3rd fret of low E. Then the open E power chord. Then a couple of just down, open, you know, just kind of palm mute. So we have this. All right, so that happens 4 times. All right, so from there we go to the bridge, which is very similar to that riff. The 3-minute 32-second mark sounds like this. All right, so now that is just the same little power chord at the 3rd fret, then the open E power chord, and then pause. Same thing again, except the last chord, instead of being the open E, is just the 2nd fret power chord, and repeat. All right, so from there, we're going to get to the first guitar solo. Now, let me just show you what's going on underneath that guitar solo first. It's very similar to the riffs we were just playing with a little extended ending, so it looks like this. All right, so that leads into that harmony solo. So it's the same riff, the 4 times that we did just a couple minutes ago, and then we move to this. This is all underneath the second half of the guitar solo. So you're going to slide into the 3rd fret there of the low E string, and when you get there, 16th notes across the power chord there, up to 6, back to 3. After you do that a couple times, then you just do this. 3, 5, 6, 8, 10. All right, now the actual solo itself sounds like this. A lot of wah here. Let me kick this in. All right, so pretty short there. I'm going to turn the wah pedal off so it's not so annoying when you're learning it. So we're going to do this. So that's a bend, kind of at the 2nd fret there on the G string, little bend and release. Pull off to the open string, then over to the 2nd fret on the D. And then back to the open G, and back to the 2nd fret on the D. So that's the first lick. Now you do that twice, so we have this. All right, and then obviously you kind of just complement that with the wah pedal. And then we have this. All right, so it's kind of the same as that down there. It's just up here an octave. 12th fret on the G and the B. Over to the 14th fret on the D. So we do that twice. And then up to those 2 12s again. Then the 14s. And then kind of a bend and release there at the 14th. So we have this. Then 12, down to 14 on the D, back to 2 12s, back to the 14. So just kind of a basic bluesy kind of thing. All together. All right, then take it to, this is when now head fill goes right here. He switches there to this note and just the 5th fret there on the G string. And he just does a bend there and does some tremolo picking on it. And then do some rapid bends. And then do a kind of hammer pull between 3 and 5 on the G, and then grab the double stop there at the 3rd fret on the G and the B, and then just grab the whammy bar and pull it up the pitch there. And that leads us into the harmony section. Now underneath the harmony section is just open E power chord, G power chord at the 3rd fret there on the low E, and then 5th fret power chord there on the A. All right, now the actual harmony itself. The bottom harmony part sounds like this. All right, so that is just the low E, and then slide the 14 on the A string, 10, 9, and then I'm doing a hammer 7 to 9, pull off to 7, down to 5, back to 7. So just then slide to 10, 9, 7, then hammer quick to 9, 7, 5 a couple times. So all together, real slow. that's a couple times by itself there. Then the harmony line comes in on top of that, and it sounds like this. Now I'm keeping it there. The tone of those strings, I mean, obviously you could play this stuff multiple areas in the guitar. It just sounds like that kind of, just the tone of it sounds like they're playing on the kind of thicker strings. So we're going to slide up here to the 14th fret on the D string, down to 9, 10, I'm sorry, 10, 7. So we have this. And then we have, going to hammer 5 to 7 on the D, pull back up to 5, down to 4, back to 5. Then slide to 9, 7, 5, hammer 5 to 7, 5, 4, twice. So just the kind of same melodies harmonized. All right, and then we have what I really kind of, it's almost like bridge number 2. It's just kind of the section that leaves this harmony section is really based off the same chords. All right, so, but what they do is they have that and they layer it with the open version of those chords. So you can actually start with an E minor chord, and they kind of pick across the song. You might not want to get that open G in there every time. Just treat it as an open E power chord, then the open G power chord. So that's just G major chord with really just kind of the A string muted with the bottom of your middle finger. Then the D power chord. So kind of. Now they can have, even with a, they can still have that with it. It's just they're going to add in, the open chords actually have a bigger sound there. All right, and then it has the same ending. We're going to end this first video here with the same ending that we did at the very, so it was the big ending that kind of led into new sections. Now this is leading into that really cool kind of jam section they do. And we're going to do that one in the next video along with the main guitar solo. So I'll see you there.